Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Me, Hadia, and my classmates from year 10, Zainab, Mehwish, Amara, Maria, and Beha have created a presentation on the ancient country of Egypt. As you can see, our presentation was inspired by the overall ancient aura and mystique of the country, from the brown of the background to the color of the pyramids lining the edges. And since Egypt is quite famous for its mummies, we have also added some mummy wraps in the background for some effect. Now, without further ado, I'll be passing this on to Zainab to continue.
Thank you, Hadia. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm Zainab, and I'll be starting off this presentation with some general knowledge about Egypt. So this bird that the arrow is pointing at on the flag, this is the Republican Eagle of Egypt, also known as the coat of arms. It is a heraldic golden eagle, and it's the national emblem of Egypt. You can see here that it's holding a scroll with Arabic writing. It reads out Jamhuratu Misr al-Arabiyyah, which literally means Arab Republic of Egypt. Now, along with the scroll, the eagle has some kind of shield on the front, and it's cushion, and it has the colors of the flag, except it's rotated vertically here. Next on the list is the nymphaea lotus, which is the national flower of Egypt. In ancient Egypt times, people used to believe that the lotus flower would give them strength and power, and this flower had been found in the burial tombs of pharaohs. The ancient Egyptians used the nymphaea lotus for a lot of things. They made perfume out of it, used it for decoration, and even worshipped it. Moving on to the national tree of Egypt, the Beka, it is also known as the dome palm, and this tree grows in all of the Arab Peninsula and beyond. All parts of the tree are very useful, starting with the leaves. They are used by people along the Nile River to weave baskets, mats, brooms, and more. The trunk is used to create fuel as well as for various construction purposes. The fruit, the dome nuts, are used in traditional medicine along with the roots and stems for their anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and antimicrobial properties. Lastly, we have the steppe eagle as the national bird of Egypt. We have eagles on the flag as the emblem and now as the national bird. You might be wondering why Egypt is so heavily incorporated with eagles. Well, this is because in ancient Egypt, eagles were a symbol of power and authority. They go way back, as eagles were associated with several gods and goddesses in the Egyptian mythology, and were also used as royal symbols by pharaohs. The reverence for eagles has been passed down to modern times, making it very significant in history. This is all, and now I'll be passing it on to Amara. Jazakallah khair.
Assalamu alaikum, I'm Amara. Today I'll be exploring the flavors of Egypt, highlighting the country's most popular and iconic dishes. First up is koshari, the national dish, a hearty blend of rice, lentils, and pasta topped with spicy tomato sauce and crispy onions. It represents the essence of Egyptian street food. We also have dolma, also known as stuffed grape leaves, and it is filled with rice and herbs. Then we have ful madames, a breakfast dish made from fava beans cooked with garlic, lemon juice, and olive oil, often served with pita bread. Baklava is a sweet pastry made of layers of phyllo dough filled with chopped nuts and sweetened with syrup or honey. It is baked until golden, giving it a rich flavor. Lastly, we have basbousa, a sweet semolina cake soaked in syrup, often enjoyed during celebrations. These dishes not only satisfy the palate but also tell the rich story of Egyptian culture. Jazakallah khair for joining me on this quick journey through the flavors of Egypt. Now I will pass it on to Faiha.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Mehwish and I'll be talking about Egypt's geography. Egypt, with its ancient wonders and strange landscapes, has enthralled explorers, archaeologists, and historians for ages. From the Blessed Nile River to the White Sahara Desert, Egypt's topography is intrinsically linked with its legendary past and eclectic culture, as it was also Prophet Musa alayhi salam's birthplace. Stretching from northeast Africa to Asia's Sinai Peninsula, along with coastlines on the Mediterranean and Red Seas, it is bordered by the Mediterranean Sea to the north, Libya to the west, Sudan to the south, and the Red Sea to the east, and Palestine to the northeast. The country has a total area of around 1,001,450 square kilometers, which is 386,662 square miles, which is almost the same size as Texas and New Mexico combined, 4 times the size of the United Kingdom and twice that of France. Its landscape is not limited to deserts and rivers. The country also has stunning coasts along the Red Sea and the Mediterranean Sea. The Nile, known as the world's longest river, is vital to Egypt's geography, culture, and civilization. It is produced by the confluence of the White Nile, which flows from Lake Victoria, and the Blue Nile, which flows from Lake Tana in Ethiopia. These tributaries converge around Khartoum, Sudan, then flow northward into Egypt, eventually forming the Nile Delta, a fertile region that has supported agriculture since antiquity. Since ancient times, this area has served as Egypt's breadbasket due to its excellent soil. The Nile Valley extends south from the Nile Delta and is a short strip of land flanked by desert on both sides. The Western Desert is to the west of the Nile River and is home to the Jilful Kabir Plateau and the Qattara Depression, which has the lowest elevation in Egypt. Since time immemorial, travelers have been drawn to Egypt's deserts by their beauty and mesmerizing silence, abandoning familiar comforts in search of adventure, knowledge, and escape. Hidden oases can be found among Egypt's enormous deserts, lush pockets of greenery that stand out from the surrounding parched terrain. The Siwa Oasis, located in the Western Desert, is a lonely and picturesque oasis with natural springs, historic ruins, and a unique Berber culture. The Western Desert's Bahari Oasis is well known for its hot springs, palm groves, and proximity to the White Desert. It's a popular spot for desert safaris and adventure seekers. Farfara Oasis, located in the Western Desert, is Egypt's smallest and most isolated oasis. Its landscapes, including the Black Desert and the Crystal Mountain, make it a photographer's utopia.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Maria and today I'll be taking you through the fascinating history of Egypt. Around 7000 BCE, people began settling near the Nile Valley. As climate changes made the surrounding lands uninhabitable, the Nile provided food and fertile land for farming, giving rise to thriving pre-dynastic cultures connected by trade. One of ancient Egypt's most fascinating practices, mummification, began unintentionally as the dry desert preserved bodies naturally. This inspired Egyptians to perfect the process using natural salt, canopic jars, and burial rituals to prepare for the afterlife. By 3100 BCE, hieroglyphic writing was invented, enabling Egyptians to record vital information. Around the same time, King Narmer united Upper and Lower Egypt, ushering in an era of prosperity and cultural growth. Between 2600 and 2500 BCE, the iconic pyramids of Giza and the Great Sphinx were constructed as incredible architectural achievements that remain wonders today. Despite periods of division, Egypt thrived with rulers like Sobek Neferu, the first female pharaoh, and others such as Tutankhamun, the youngest pharaoh, and Ramses II leaving lasting legacies. Egypt later faced invasions by the Kushites, Assyrians, and Persians. In 332 BCE, Alexander the Great conquered Egypt, founding Alexandria, and Greek became a key language. By 31 BCE, Egypt fell under Roman rule, with Cleopatra's dramatic reign marking the end of its independence. The era of ancient Egypt concluded in AD 394 with the last hieroglyph inscribed at the Temple of Philae, closing the chapter on one of history's greatest civilizations.
Islamic history of war that took place in this ancient country. Now, one of the most important Islamic events that took place in Egypt was the Arab conquest of Misr, or now known as Egypt. This conquest occurred between 639 and 642 CE after the passing of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ in 632 AD, and was a pivotal moment in the spread of Islam. It began during the reign of the second Caliph, Hazrat Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, who directed the military campaign with the noble general Amr ibn al-As radiallahu anhu, who led the Muslim forces through the victorious conquering of Egypt. After defeating the Byzantines at Yarmouk in 636 and the Persians at Qadisiyah in 637, they gathered the Arab generals towards the reaches of Byzantine Africa. After the siege of Jerusalem, it was Amr ibn al-As radiallahu anhu who suggested an invasion of Egypt to the Caliph Umar radiallahu anhu. Appealing to the Caliph, he said, "The conquest of Egypt will give great power to the Muslims and will be a great aid to them, for it is the wealthiest land and the weakest in fighting and war power." After being convinced, they started to proceed with the conquest. The Arab forces, initially numbering around a couple thousand, faced a larger Byzantine defense, but ultimately prevailed due to the genius of the Arab commanders. The key battle in this conquest occurred at the city of Heliopolis, near modern-day Cairo, in 640 CE, where the Muslim army, after a prolonged siege, achieved victory. The fall of Alexandria, Egypt's major port city, in 642 CE marked the final phase of the conquest. The conquest of Egypt was not just a military victory, but also a transformation for the region. Under Amr ibn al-As anhu's leadership, The Muslim army respected the religious practice of the local Christian populace, and the religion was granted a treaty of protection, dhimma, that ensured the safety of non-Muslims in exchange for tribute. This allowed for a smooth integration, with many Egyptians eventually embracing Islam. The lasting legacy of the conquest was profound. Egypt became a central hub for Islamic learning and culture, and its people played a significant role in the development of Islamic civilization.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Arsh, and I will be showing you the Islam in Egypt. Islam has been present in Egypt for centuries. It first came to Egypt in the 7th century when Arab Muslim armies arrived during the rule of the Byzantine Empire, and it soon became the main religion of the country. Due to its close proximity to sacred and foundational Islamic sites such as Mecca, Egypt was one of the first regions to be conquered by Muslim forces during the early period of Islamic expansion. Egypt has long been a center of Islamic history, adorned with magnificent mosques, schools, and libraries that reflect its rich heritage. Since its founding in 972 CE, the Al-Azhar Mosque has developed into one of the oldest universities in the world and is still regarded as the top institution for Islamic studies. Egypt's importance in the Islamic world was established by the constructions of remarkable structures and the support of arts by Islamic dynasties such as the Fatimids, Ayyubids, and Mamluks. Cairo, the capital of Egypt, which was founded in the 10th century by the Fatimid dynasty, is often called the City of Thousand Minarets due to its most stunning mosques. Notable examples include the Al-Azhar Mosque, the Ibn Tulun Mosque, and the Sultan Hassan Mosque. Cairo is believed to have around 1,000 mosques. And these are some facts. Fact number 1, approximately 90% of Egypt's population is Muslim. Fact number 2, according to some sources, at least 53,000 imams serve in mosques across the country. Fact number 3, most Muslims in Egypt are Sunni.
Alright, we will end it here. Thank you for your time, everyone. I hope you learned something new today like we did. Jazakallahu khairan, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.